September 1940. Warsaw, Poland. Gestapo rounding up Polish citizens. Random arrests, sending them to a new camp. Auschwitz. Nobody knows what happens there yet. Just rumors, disappearances. And one Polish resistance officer makes a decision. Witold Pilecki, age 39. He's going to get himself arrested. On purpose. Volunteer to go to Auschwitz. Why? To find out what's happening inside. To gather evidence. To send reports to the Allies. Everyone tells him it's suicide. You'll never come back. He knows, goes anyway, gets arrested, becomes prisoner 4859, spends 2.5 years inside Auschwitz, builds a resistance network, gathers evidence, escapes, writes a report, and the Allies, they don't believe him. This is the story of the man who volunteered for hell, and nobody listened. First, who's Witold Pilecki? Born 1901, Poland, military family. As a kid, exiled to Russia, fought in World War I, fought for Polish independence. Against the Soviets in 1920, hero, cavalry officer, then became a farmer, got married, 2 kids, normal life. But in 1939, Nazi Germany invaded Poland, and Pilecki couldn't go back to normal. Organized resistance, TAP, Tajna Armia Polska, secret Polish army, small but effective, sabotage, intelligence, fighting back. And then Auschwitz rumors started, new camp, people being sent there, nobody coming back. What's happening there? Nobody knows. Pilecki thought, someone needs to go see. Summer 1940. Pilecki presents a plan to resistance leaders. I'm going to Auschwitz, from the inside. Leaders, what? How? Pilecki, I'll get myself arrested. Walk into a Gestapo roundup, get sent as a prisoner. Silence. Then, that's insane, that's suicide. Pilecki, no, it's a mission. We need information. What's happening there? How many dying? How does the system work? This information is critical for the Allies. But you might not come back. I know. Think about this. A man, voluntarily, sending himself to a Nazi camp. Why? For intelligence? For evidence? To save others. Could you do it? I couldn't. But Pilecki did. September 19th, 1940. Warsaw. Pilecki's preparing, fixes his identity papers, takes the name Tomasz Serafiński. False identity. Why? Because if caught with his real name, Gestapo knows he's a resistance leader. They'll kill him immediately. But with false identity, just a regular prisoner. Lives longer. Gathers more information. Night. There's a Gestapo roundup in Warsaw. Planned. They're blocking streets, grabbing men. And Pilecki's there, deliberately, others trying to escape. Pilecki standing still, calm, Gestapo approaching. Papers, shows them, come with us. And they arrest him. Pilecki smiling. Inside, plans working. Now he's going to hell. Voluntarily. September 22nd, 1940. First prisoner convoy arrives at Auschwitz. 728 men. Pilecki among them. Entering through the gate. Arbeit macht frei sign. Work sets you free. Lie, but they don't know yet. SS guards screaming, dogs barking, prisoners stripped, shaved, disinfected, getting their numbers. Pilecki, 4859. No name anymore and just a number. And an SS officer gives a speech. There's only one way out of here, the chimney. Prisoners don't understand. Yet. But Pilecki's taking notes, in his mind. Every detail, every word. Because he's not a tourist here, he's a spy. First days are hardest. Why? Because the system's designed to break you. Starvation, 1 piece of bread per day, watery soup, insufficient calories, hard labor, carrying stones, building construction, hours, no rest, beatings, random, guards beating for entertainment, death, every day, disease, starvation, bullets, executions. First week, 20 out of 200 prisoners died, 10%. At this rate, nobody survives long, but Pilecki's got a different strategy. Not just surviving, organizing, connecting with other prisoners. Who's trustworthy? Who will join resistance? Who can carry information? Slowly building a network, secretly, without drawing attention. What's Pilecki seeing in Auschwitz? Everything. Systematic killing, first with bullets, wall executions, then gas chamber being built. 1941, first test, Soviet POWs. Zyklon B gas, they die. Effective, cheap, fast, and they're expanding the system. Bigger gas chambers. Crematoria. Hundreds per day, then thousands. Jews arriving by trains, families, children, elderly, selection, those who can work right, others left. Left equals gas chamber. Same day death, Pilecki's counting. How many trains, how many people, how many dead? Recording every detail in his memory. Because one day he has to report this. But Pilecki's not just an observer, he's an activist too, building secret resistance organization inside. ZOW, Związek Organizacji Wojskowej, Union of Military Organization. How? Carefully, slowly, finding trustworthy men, officers, soldiers, smart prisoners, talking to them, testing them, building trust. And the network grows. By 1942, about 1,000 members. In the camp, secret. What are they doing? Gathering intelligence, communications, sending messages out of camp. How? Various ways. Sometimes through civilian workers, sometimes escaped prisoners, sometimes even guards. Bribery, persuasion, risk. And Pilecki's coordinating. All of it. Prisoner 4859, but actually an agent. Pilecki's sending reports. Regularly. How? Secret routes. Messages written on small papers. Coded. A civilian worker takes it, puts it in his pocket, leaves camp. Delivers to resistance leader in Warsaw. From there to London. To Polish government in exile. And what's Pilecki writing in these reports? The truth. Raw truth. Auschwitz is a death camp. Systematic massacre. Gas chambers. Thousands dead daily. Mostly Jews, women, children, elderly. All being killed. This is genocide. 1941, 1942. Reports going out, regular, detailed. And in London, they're reading. And what are they doing? Nothing. Why didn't they believe? Good question. Several reasons. First, unbelievable. Too horrible. A government wouldn't systematically kill its own citizens. Millions. Impossible. But it was happening. Second, propaganda suspicion. Polish government in exile, maybe they're exaggerating to get allies to act. Third, their own priorities. Allies focused on winning the war, defeating Germany. Auschwitz? We'll deal with it after winning. But meanwhile, thousands dying every day, and Pilecki's inside, helpless, sending reports, nobody listening. Imagine that frustration. You're living through hell, gathering evidence, sending it at risk, and silence, no response, no help. April 1943. Pilecki's been in Auschwitz 947 days, 2.5 years. He survived, built a network, sent reports, but now deciding he has to escape. Why? First, information sufficient. He learned everything inside. More information won't add value. Second, reports ineffective. Sending messages from inside isn't working. He needs to get out. Tell them face to face, the allies. Maybe face to face they'll believe. Third, survival. 947 days is a lot. He's pushing his luck. Every day is death risk. If he dies, information's lost. So escape plan. How? There's a bakery in camp making bread, civilian workers coming. Pilecki and 2 friends planning. They'll escape through the bakery, doors not locked. One night, they'll enter, grab civilian clothes, walk out. April 26, 1943. Night, Pilecki and 2 friends ready. Approaching bakery. Guards patrolling. But there's a blind spot. Timing matters, minute calculation. And they enter. Bakery. Dark. Civilian clothes there, changing, approaching door. Unlocked? Yes. Quietly opening, looking outside, guard tower, searchlight. But right now pointing elsewhere, running. 3 of them, through wire, cut. Prepared beforehand, through and running. Into darkness, toward forest. Behind them, alarm sounds. They noticed. Dogs. Search started. But Pilecki and friends got too far. Crossing river. Lose the scent and escaping. Freedom. First time in 947 days. Free. Pilecki returns to Warsaw. Reports to resistance leaders. What did you see? Hell, gas chambers, millions dead, systematic industrial massacre. And now he has to write. Full report. Detailed. Everything. And he writes. Between 1943 to 1945, various reports. Most famous, Witold's report. 100+ pages, detailed dates, numbers, names, how the system works, gas chambers, selections, death counts, first-hand witness. From inside, 947 days, and sends this report to the Allies, through Polish government, to the British, Americans. Here's the proof. Here's the truth. Now act. And response? Silence. Again. When Allies read the report, what did they say? This must be exaggerated. This is propaganda. No proof. No proof? The guy lived inside 947 days, saw everything, wrote it. But still, maybe he's biased, maybe emotional. Maybe Poland wants to push Allies to act. And worst, we should focus on winning the war. Camps are a post-war problem. But meanwhile, 1943 to 1945. 2 more years, millions more dying at Auschwitz, Treblinka, Sobibor, Belzec, all camps. And Pilecki knew, sent the report, nobody listened. Imagine that feeling. You told the truth, showed the proof, and nobody believed. And millions keep dying. But Pilecki didn't stop. 1944, Warsaw Uprising. Polish resistance trying to liberate Warsaw from Germans. 63 days of fighting. Urban warfare. Pilecki's there, fighting, leading, bravely. And they lose. Germans crush the uprising. Warsaw destroyed, 85% leveled. 200,000 civilians dead. Pilecki captured, again, but this time POW, by Germans, sent to camp. But not Auschwitz, Mauthausen. POW camp, May 1945. Americans liberate, Pilecki free again. Survived 2 concentration camps, 2 times freedom. But his story doesn't end. The worst is yet to come. War ends, 1945, Germany defeated. Is Poland free? No, because Soviets are coming. Red Army occupying Poland, installing communist regime. And for Pilecki, that's a problem. Because he's pro-West, loyal to Polish government in exile. In London? To Soviets? Traitor, Western spy, and Pilecki stays in Poland a while, doing covert intelligence. About Soviet regime, sending reports to London, but dangerous. Very dangerous. Friends, run, leave Poland, go west. Pilecki, no, can't leave Poland, this is my country. And stays. Biggest mistake. May 1947, night, Pilecki at home, secret police coming. UB, Urzęd Bezpieczeństwa Security Office. Communist secret police, breaking door, coming to arrest. Pilecki reaches for gun, could shoot, but doesn't. Why? Because kids at home. Doesn't want to endanger family, surrenders. And they take him. Prison, Mokotów prison. Warsaw, charges, Western spy, accused of treason against the regime, conspiracy, lies. But doesn't matter. Communist regime cleaning out enemies. And Pilecki's one of the most dangerous. Because he's a hero. People know him. The guy who survived Auschwitz. Warsaw Uprising hero. So dangerous. In prison torture, months, beatings, sleep deprivation, psychological pressure. Confess, confess you spied for the West. Pilecki, no, I worked for Poland, always. But torture continues and eventually false confession. They force him to sign and trial. March 1948, show trial. Outcome predetermined, guilty, death sentence. Pilecki defends himself. I survived Nazi Auschwitz, fought for Poland. I love my country. But doesn't matter. Decisions made, death. And Pilecki knows, survived Auschwitz, but won't survive communist Poland. Irony. Bitter irony. May 25th, 1948. Pilecki in his cell. Knows today's the last day. Execution. Couldn't see family. Not allowed. Wrote last letter. To wife. To children. I love you. Did everything for Poland. Dying with honor. And they take him. Basement. Execution room. Shot to back of head. Soviet style. Single shot. Dies. Age 47. Witold Pilecki. The guy who survived Auschwitz. Polish hero. executed by his own country. His body, thrown in mass grave, unmarked. Family didn't know where until 1990s, until communism fell. Couldn't find him. Still hasn't been found. Grave unknown. Hero. In unmarked grave. And forgotten. In communist Poland, Pilecki's name was forbidden. Never mentioned. Erased from history books. Because labeled Western spy, traitor, lie. But that was official story. Years passed. 1989. Communism fell, Poland free, and archives opened. Truth came out. Pilecki wasn't a traitor. He was a hero. One of the greatest. Volunteered to go to Auschwitz. Stayed 947 days. Gathered evidence, wrote reports, and nobody listened. And then killed by his own country. Double tragedy. Double injustice. And now Poland remembers him. There are memorials, streets named after him, schools, but late. Too late. What do we learn from this story? First, courage can be at unbelievable levels. Pilecki volunteered for Auschwitz. Think about that. Second, telling truth isn't enough. Must be listened to. Pilecki sent reports. Nobody listened. Third, injustice comes in various forms. Nazis killed Jews, Soviets killed heroes, both injustice. Fourth, history sometimes comes late. They remembered Pilecki 40 years later, but he was already dead. Fifth, voluntary sacrifice is purest heroism. Pilecki wasn't forced, he chose. For the mission, for others. This is pure heroism. Witold Pilecki, 1901 to 1948. Volunteered to go to Auschwitz. Stayed 947 days. Built resistance network. Sent reports. Escaped. Wrote. And nobody listened. Then killed by his own country. Grave unknown, but story known. And shouldn't be forgotten. Why? Because Pilecki shows us. Courage can be limitless. You can give everything for truth. Even Auschwitz. And sometimes telling truth isn't enough. But you still have to tell it. Because history will remember you one day. Maybe late, but will remember. Pilecki was forgotten. 40 years. But now we know. Now we remember. One of the greatest heroes who went to hell voluntarily and told the truth, even when nobody listened. This is Witold Pilecki, the only man who volunteered for Auschwitz and should never be forgotten. So what do you think? Write in the comments. Could you have done it? Voluntarily go to Auschwitz? I couldn't, but Pilecki did. Incredible. And if this story affected you, a hero most people don't know, hit that like button because Pilecki shouldn't be forgotten. His story needs to be heard. Don't forget to subscribe. Everyday new stories. Sometimes forgotten heroes. Sometimes lesser known stories of famous heroes. But always real. Always important. Turn on notifications because history doesn't wait. Stories don't wait. Heroes shouldn't be forgotten. See you in the next video. Until then, remember. Witold Pilecki went to hell voluntarily, told the truth. Nobody listened. But we're listening now and won't forget. See you.